If you follow financial analysts, you will undoubtedly lose your mind at some point because they're all very confident and only half of them are correct, and not even all the time. That's the terrible part. Very few analysts can outperform the market. And when I see someone who beats it by 15, 20%, I say, yeah, but I'm no genius, and my portfolio's whoop yours because I saw something you couldn't, and I didn't sell because today I see it still. Maybe that was a mistake, but here to tell me about all the mistakes I've made in my life is Randy Kirk. Starting with, I don't wear cool shirts.
Well,
And
I don't know how cool your shirts are, but I just have a brand here. Well, yes, I've been wearing them way before I had the brand, but I thought I'd keep it up.
it it is a source of comments, and comments count.
They
There was
do. They
there
do.
was a gentleman who said, "I'd like to know Randy's address because I've got a crazy shirt I can send him, and I do not know your address." So I'd say just put it Randy, just put Randy, Riverside, and then just
There you
drop it in the mail.
go.
No return address. You'll never know if it made it, but I can tell you. I can tell you.
Next
So
time,
what?
just ask. I'll give you my address. It's okay.
You just got to reach out to Randy on X. Randy
Yes.
W. Kirk
One.
one. Yeah,
Yes.
Randy W. Kirk one.
You'd think there would only be one Randy W. Kirk, but there must have been more than one.
Yeah. So tip ranks here. And by the way, their tip is pretty rank. Tesla stock price target cut by RBC analyst given macro uncertainty. What's going on here? High price cut, citing macroeconomic uncertainty. Cut from 320 to 314 while keeping his buy rating. He changed his price target by $6.
I know. You think that he did a lot of analysis to get there, especially since he was changing it based on the macro?
$6. Yeah, and based $6 and based on the macro.
I know.
So I'm going to lower my estimate by 2%.
Right.
Uh, because I just opened up my trading app and it was all this kind of color, this real reddish.
Yeah.
And as much as I like Christmas, sometimes you got to have some green in there. Uh-huh.
Maybe
So
it was that he thought he could get a better response, more clicks by doing a reduction on Tesla in these times. I don't know.
I don't know if the analyst cares about clicks, but I feel like the analyst does have to pretend like they're doing something for a living. And
Yeah.
when your boss says, "What have you been doing?" You go, "Well, look, I made 26 different price target changes this quarter alone." Like, wow, did any of them help anybody? No, but that's not part of my job description. And because Brian made a joke about Christmas, I talk like Father Christmas. So that's my fault. The March quarter could have benefited from pre-buy sentiment in anticipation of tariffs launch. I I mean the auto industry, I don't know. I don't know. I think the tariffs came up too quick to get parts orders and certainly to get whole car orders.
Well,
I
no,
did
I think
see
what he's talking about is consumers. So there was quite a bit of
oh,
chatter. There was quite a bit of chatter that consumers were rushing into their dealers who had foreign, especially cars that were made outside the country, in order to try to get ahead of the tariffs. So there probably was some pull forward in the automotive industry in March, and that, generally speaking, when you got to pull forward, then the next month or the next couple of months you might see, you know, a drop. I don't know if that's happening or not. I haven't heard any chatter on that.
all right. So again, we're just trying to make some sense of what the financial analysts are saying. So now let's go from tip ranks and rank a different tip. This tip is ranked Tesla stock could face a shocking collapse of 95%, warned Swedish billionaire Christer Gardell. This 95%, Randy.
Whenever I'm writing headlines, and I write a lot of headlines as you do, whenever I'm writing headlines, I try to avoid using the word could or
Mm,
may.
mm.
Yes, because you see, as much as everything that we speculate about is always a could or a may, um, when I see could or may, that means the guy's not very confident.
Yes, and you've left yourself infinite wiggle room. I posted this on X yesterday. This is could, sure,
Of course, it
50%
could.
chance of rain. Done.
Yes,
It was sunny, I win.
yes,
Rained, I win. Hail, well, what is hail if not very crunchy rain?
yes.
This is Yeah. Now 90. So we'd be talking $12 a share. You
Yeah.
know, they have $10 a share in cash on hand, right? It's
Yes.
more than
Yes.
10. They probably have 12 a share in cash on hand. So I don't know
And there's liquidation value of the property, the equipment, the inventory. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like,
all of
yeah.
it. It
Yes.
makes no sense. All I can figure is that this billionaire is loading up on a short position, or maybe hoping to depress it so that he can ride it back up. I
Maybe.
Well, he
Yeah.
didn't specify a timeline of a potential crash.
Oh. Oh, I see.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
that is handy. Caution that it is inevitable and it could be severe. Well, if it's a crash, it's severe. So I feel like we're just kind of playing word games at this point. How'd you get to be rich if you say things this? And also the interviewer should have pushed back and said,
Yeah.
"Look, I
Yeah.
appreciate you being on here. I don't want to burn any bridges, but quick question, just one question: What?
Yeah. Right.
What?"
How come you're all alone on this? Yeah.
Yeah, it's. Mhm.
Does he give some kind of a justification? Because
Well,
I
yes,
can't
he
read.
said that Tesla remains an automaker despite its expansion into robotics and
Yeah.
AI. Well,
Yeah.
you left one out. You left out the other thing that's generating millions and millions of dollars, billions in
Energy
profits.
storage or something.
Energy.
Yeah, something
Hmm.
about energy. Yeah.
Well, let's not spoil the surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
feel
sorry.
like this billionaire needs to find out the hard way.
And
With any
Larry
luck,
and Larry and Larry Goldberg believes that the charging network is worth 100 million.
the charging network is tremendously valuable. I haven't
Right.
tried to put a value on it, but it is the largest and most reliable charging network,
Right.
certainly in North America,
Right.
but there's nothing like it. Others try, some get close, but
Mhm.
while like my friends at Electric Era in Seattle, who I've now interviewed probably 4 times by the time this comes out. What's today? The 16th. 3 times. One more is coming out on the 21st. They have tremendous uptime, like 98,
Oh,
99%
nice.
uptime. But
Nice.
it's because all of their chargers are close enough that they can drive to them
I
and
see.
fix
Okay.
them. Not all of them. They do have contracts with people in other
Right.
places, but they've
Right.
got very good real-time monitoring. And unlike Electrify America, where they were required to build it as a
Yeah.
half-hearted apology, Electric Era is trying to make
Money.
history, if not money, if not just money. Yeah. They're in it to win it. So now we've only got 2 more headlines, but I, of course, require your wisdom. Is that something you're going to give me today, or just more of
Yeah,
the
I'll
same?
give you.
No,
I'll
I'm
give you.
kidding.
I'll give you half because after all, I'm a half. Never mind.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tesla holding up well, may be better positioned than other big tech names. Does that surprise you?
Well, they would be smart to say that.
They do not necessarily have the most exposure to international catalysts. Apple,
Mm,
deeply exposed to international factors. Tesla,
yes.
significantly less so. There's still bibs and bobs you cannot get in North America, let alone the US, but not as many.
Right.
Um, and it does produce domestically. I don't know. I think the market is trying to carve out a bottom, which is what they did. A lot of Greek sculptors did the same. The commentator thinks that China
Okay, that's the best. That's your best ever.
will.
That's a
The commentator thinks that China will eventually make concessions to the US, enabling semiconductors makers like NVIDIA to advance. And we saw, didn't NVIDIA just open their plant?
NVIDIA opened their plant.
TSMC opened a plant in Arizona. It's now open,
Right,
right?
right. And NVIDIA just said that they would start building full-on chips in Texas. So they just announced that they would start building in Texas.
It'll take some time,
Oh
but
yes, oh yes,
but
yes.
but great.
Yeah.
And if we're going to talk wisdom and brilliance, and it's pretty clear that we have to mention Jim Cramer, because, by the way, I looked up the inverse Cramer ETF
Yeah,
to see how it's
yeah,
doing. It's
yeah.
actually down, which is
Oh
right on
no.
brand for anything Cramer, which means if you were doing the Cramer, which don't, and I don't just mean with his financial planning, I just mean life, not life advice. Do your own research. Don't be Jim Cramer. We recently published a list of Jim Cramer's questions, market logic, and dissects these key 7 stocks. In this article, we're going to take a look at where he stands against other stocks. Anyway, yeah, he emphasized the
He
sheer
changes
weight.
his mind. He changes his mind on Tesla more often than he changes his socks.
I think that is entirely true.
Yes.
And we know that I assume he's changing his socks every day and his opinion
Which
on Tesla more
could be.
frequently.
Yes. Yes. And
Could be.
his most upbeat one that I ever heard on Tesla was just after his daughter bought one or something. So I don't.
That's right. That's right. Now I have experience, therefore.
Right.
Uh, and again, not fashion advice. Change your socks every day. Just handy. I mean, we're here to make your lives a little better. Uh, our methodology. Oh, we're doing astrology. I love it. To make our list of the stocks that Cramer talked about, that he talked about on the Squawk. Squawk on the Street. For these stocks, we also mentioned the number of hedge fund investors. Okay, so at any rate, do you think Tesla is better positioned to weather an international trade storm?
Well, I think they're better positioned. Obviously, they have a fairly large and significant risk factor because they do own a factory in China, which is their largest factory in terms of the total output. And of course, China could come in and nationalize it, or they could just say that Elon could no longer come to China. There's all kinds of things that they could do. So there's a risk factor there. I mentioned that to another individual earlier today, and they thought that that risk was not very great for a whole list of reasons. But it's there. It's a true risk. I did want to say that you know that I make a lot of stock predictions on my channel, and
You
so when
do.
somebody really, really, really wants to cut me in the comments, they will generally say that I'm like Kramer.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Randy, I am so sorry.
I know it's
That
happened. It
is
happens. Yeah, yeah.
that's unfortunate. And by the way, in the comments, Randy and I give each other a ribbing all the time. It is not out of disrespect. I hope you feel the same way, Randy.
I
But
disrespect you all. I'm sorry. I respect you.
right,
Of
exactly.
course.
That's exactly it. Yeah, we're both Rodney Dangerfield. We get no respect.
That's,
I tells you. Yeah, so the news could be better, could be worse, but I'm at peace with it. I would say that China's the Giga Shanghai is not an exposure risk in my view. We heard from day one. They're as soon as it's done, they're going to nationalize it. And they didn't, and they're going to steal all the IP, and they didn't.
so I think we really need to get to the reality, to the realness of what's going on right now in terms of Tesla stock, and that is, as Elon has said repeatedly, if you're not in the stock for robotaxi, sell the stock. So it doesn't really matter. The comings and goings on the international stage is really insignificant. Doesn't matter right now. 2 months before they're going to roll out robotaxi in Austin, Texas. If you think that's going to happen and you think it's important, buy the stock. Yeah.
This would be when you could see a shift coming. Look at what IBM was doing they before they went into computers. If IBM is just a mechanical calculator company to you, then I don't know what to tell. Well, you know what? They made it in bronze, and I wanted to make them to make it in chrome. Buddy, you're talking about the wrong thing. Um, Also worth noting, the thing I love to hear is that all the Chinese companies steal Tesla's IP.
Right.
No, they use different batteries, they use different motors, they use different battery management systems. They copy the output objective, which is make a great car at a great price, but they don't copy the method of getting there. And we know that in part because BYD's new super colossal factory that's miles by miles is all on a single floor. And Tesla would
Yeah,
not build a factory that's all on a
not a
single floor.
chance.
That's just not what they do anymore. They utilize vertical space in the manufacturing process to squeak out those last few nickels. So, in the comments, you guys, what did we miss? What do we misunderstand? Head over to Randy Kirk's channel, see what he's up to. If you're in Shanghai, as I am at the moment, get in touch with me. Maybe we can hang out. Everybody else, like, subscribe, do what you do. Hit the thumb buttons. Either one doesn't. If you made it this far, you can hit the thumbs down. It doesn't bother me. I just appreciate you being here. And if you hated this video, you definitely need to leave a comment telling me that, so YouTube will show the video to more people who can also hate it just as much as you did. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the next thrilling installment.